Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're stepping into something really quite different. It's excerpts from Anna in the Corridor of Inner Souls by Elena Cooper.
Yeah, and it's not your typical story at all. It's described, I think the phrase is, a poetic passage of suspended images, inner dialogues, and ancient symbols.
Exactly. So our goal here, for you listening, is to really unpack the insights from Anna's journey.
Right. The preface kind of sets it up like holding up a mirror. It invites us, it says, to face the shadows within and embrace them as companions on our journey. And Anna, she's our main figure here, driven by suffering, by silence. To face these fears she's kept hidden.
And she has a guide, right? A cat.
Yes, Stella, a silent gray cat, her companion through all this.
So what we're dealing with is, well, it's like a map of the inner world where the line between life and death is actually a path to self-discovery. We'll be exploring these trembling corridors, meeting lost souls.
And each meeting plants a kind of seed of truth. Things like forgiveness, courage, simplicity.
So we're going to dig into this symbolic stuff, chapter by chapter almost, and see what wisdom we can pull out for ourselves. Okay, let's start right at the beginning. Anna's journey kicks off in a section called The Sickness of Silence. We find her really weak, ill, feeling invisible, this old wound aching. And then suddenly she's just plunged into this endless gray mist.
Yeah.
And there's a coffin next to her, a dark wooden coffin. It's quite a jarring start.
It really is, and it's that immediate shift, isn't it? From the physical illness to something deeply symbolic. She even whispers, "Is this my silence, or is there still a sound I cannot hear?" And that's when she hears it, this inner voice telling her, "You are not finished, you are only beginning."
Wow. And Stella the cat is still there.
Still there, her constant silent guide. It really suggests that transformation, it often starts by reframing what we think of as loss, seeing it as a necessary first step.
That makes sense. And that leads right into the coffin is open. This feels really central. Inside, she sees her old body wrapped in a shroud with lotus symbols. Symbols of rebirth, the text says.
Right, and she gets these two messages, these whispers. What you think you lose is but a shell. And the other one, you already have everything, now you must only accept it.
So the coffin isn't the end, it's a portal. What really strikes you about that moment?
Well, it's how her first instinct, questioning if she should feel relief or resignation, is immediately sort of turned on its head. She sees this little orange flame inside, wonders if it's her soul. And then closing the coffin isn't sad or heavy. It's described as a threshold crossed. She actually smiles.
A genuine smile.
Yeah, a genuine smile. It's about acceptance, choosing to see the end of one thing as the conscious start of another, embracing that change.
Okay, so she's faced that silence, accepted the end as a beginning. Then things get shaky. Literally.
Yeah.
In corridors that tremble. The walls shimmer, the floor dissolves. She hears whispers like, "You fear you are not enough," or "You lack the courage to fall."
It's such a vivid way to show how our inner stuff, our anxieties, our hidden fears can actually warp how we see the world around us.
Making solid ground feel unstable.
Exactly. Until we face those things. And that's when she meets him, right? The hunched figure draped in a smoky cloak.
Yes. And he tells her, "I am every version of you that you hesitated to become."
Oof. That's heavy. It's like all the unlived potential, the choices not made.
And the corridor literally trembles around her then. It resonates.
It does. But here's the turning point. She has Stella, her anchor.
Right.
And she doesn't run. She says, "I tremble, yes, but I will not run away anymore."
There's a huge shift.
It is. And that choice, that declaration, leads her to an amber-lit portal, and she walks through it without fear for the first time.
Facing the inner landscape instead of running from it. That's the key.
Absolutely. And building on that courage, she enters Souls That Hide. It's a chamber with 3 figures. They're described as amber-hued, and their auras sort of betray their repressed emotions.
And these aren't ghosts, are they? They feel more like aspects.
That's how I read it, too. Like fragments of herself, maybe? Or maybe universal archetypes of things we all struggle with: judgment, fear of love, hiding behind a facade.
Yeah, like the first one, the woman who judged everyone out of fear of her own fault.
Or the man with the iron mask who never loved to avoid losing control.
And the little girl hiding behind a fake smile.
Right. And what's really important is how Anna interacts with them.
She's compassionate.
Totally. No judgment. She just listens, asks questions, offers understanding.
And that helps them transform, in a way. Helps the judge shed her judgment. The man feels some warmth. The girl becomes visible.
And this brings forth this hushed chorus of inner voices. Forgiveness, acceptance, truth.
So these souls are like mirrors, showing us our own hidden parts.
I think that's a great way to put it. They reflect back what needs attention. And this prepares her, doesn't it, for the next encounter?
Yes, the nameless guide, faceless in white robes.
And the guide tells her something interesting. I have been here always, brushing her thoughts whenever she felt that urge to pause and listen.
Like an intuition she hadn't fully recognized.
Exactly. And the guide gives her the core lesson. Your strength were your greatest asset, but now you must learn that your vulnerability is the gateway.
Ah, okay, so it's not about being weak, but about opening up.
Precisely. Asking for help, for truth, for love, reconnecting those broken threads of things left unsaid with a simple yes.
And when Anna finally says, I need you, she's saying it to the guide, but also to Stella.
And to herself, fundamentally.
Right, committing to that vulnerability. And that's where she finds the first spark of courage she'd ever allowed herself. It's powerful finding strength in admitting need.
It really is a pivotal moment. That shift from relying only on yourself to embracing connection and vulnerability. Okay, so now we get into these more specific encounters, the named souls. First up is Ada, the woman who judged everyone.
Right, she sounds quite severe. Ice eyes, judging everyone because she couldn't face her own pain, believing order arose from relentless scrutiny.
A defense mechanism, basically.
Yeah, but Anna helps her see something different, that forgiveness is not weakness. It is a choice of freedom. You can be geared with yourself.
And Ada actually acknowledges it. It's a moment of vulnerability for her. Her form changes, leaves this weary but sincere light.
And Anna is left with the first spark of forgiveness.
It's such a clear lesson, isn't it? The judgment we put out there often comes from inside. And freedom starts with forgiving ourselves.
Then there's Luca, the man who loved no one.
Ah, yes. Bent under an ash gray coat wearing gloves. The imagery is so strong. Total isolation.
He built barriers because he was terrified of rejection, abandonment. He says, I locked my heart inside this coat.
So sad. But Anna sees something else.
Yeah, a hidden crimson lining in the coat. A timid inner flame.
A spark of warmth still there.
And she tells him, courage isn't the absence of fear, but choosing to warm yourself despite it.
Which is beautiful. And when Lucas slowly takes off a glove, just allows himself to feel.
He dissolves into red and silver light.
Yeah.
And Anna's heart feels noticeably lighter.
It's like witnessing a thawing process. Courage isn't about being fearless. It's about taking that tiny step towards feeling, even when it's scary.
Next is Julia, the invisible. Petite, veiled in white.
And her story is heartbreaking. She never felt seen, always trying to appear perfect, believing she counted for nothing.
She carries a mirror but can't even look at herself.
Yeah, and what Anna does is so simple, but so profound.
With Stella's help, she just gently tilts the mirror.
Shows Julia her timid, true face.
And that's enough.
Apparently, just being seen, truly seen, allows Julia to smile, drop the veil, and ascend in this light described as white and pink petals.
Wow. It really underscores the power of just acknowledgement, of seeing someone.
Absolutely. Okay, then we have Rashid, the penitent.
His appearance tells a story too. Bronze velvet cloak, guilt etched on his face.
And he confesses his past actions. I betrayed my sister's trust. I hid truths. I used my words to wound. He wears a pierced heart pendant.
The symbol of his regret.
Yes, and Anna's guidance here is crucial. Forgiveness begins with acknowledging pain.
Not bypassing it.
No. And when Rashid finally voices his apology, it actually says the words, "Sister, I am sorry."
His cloak brightens, the pendant shines again. He dissolves, leaving a song of rebirth.
It's a powerful message about repentance, isn't it? Owning the hurt caused, expressing sincere regret, that's the path to self-forgiveness and healing.
It seems so. And then a different kind of encounter. Morella, the simple sage.
Right, in a suspended garden, she represents a different kind of wisdom.
True wisdom, she says, arises from humility. And that simplicity isn't the absence of complexity, but the ability to choose what to focus on. I like that.
Me too. It's not about ignoring complexity, but navigating it with clarity. And her method is so grounded.
I learned to listen, she says. Whenever doubt disturbed me, I would sit and listen to my breath.
Just breathe and listen. She advises Anna to take one step, then listen. Connect breath to choice.
Simple, but not easy.
No, definitely not easy. But she leaves Anna with this sense of precious simplicity, which gives her courage. It's about finding clarity in the present moment, not getting lost in the overwhelm.
Okay, the journey continues. The clothes of others, a chamber full of garments.
And here she meets he who wore too many clothes. His outfit is this chaotic patchwork.
representing thousands of roles, thousands of masks, but no truth.
He admits he lost himself trying to please everyone, getting buried under appearances,
So he starts shedding the layers, the suit of armor, other clothes.
revealing a fragile body and a new fear, the fear of emptiness. What's left when the masks are gone?
That's relatable. But Anna has insight here.
She does. She tells him emptiness is a space of possibility. You need not fear yourself.
She prompts him to ask, who am I without my masks?
And offers an answer. You are a being who thinks, who feels, who wants to love and welcome. You are you and nothing else.
That's profound.
It really is. And he dissolves into light, leaving Anna with this wave of awareness. She's no longer afraid of emptiness either.
It's like realizing that stripping away the false doesn't leave nothing. It leaves potential, your authentic self.
Exactly. And all these encounters, all these lessons learned, they seem to come together in the next space.
The breathing garden, which literally breathes with her heartbeat. That's amazing imagery.
Isn't it? And a tree tells her, here, every breath is a truth, and the instruction is key. Don't run. Listen to your breath. It is your oldest guide.
Back to that simple wisdom from Morella.
Yes. And then the big revelation. In a still pool, she sees reflections of all the souls she met.
Ada, Luca, Julia, Rashid.
All of them, luminous now, a silent chorus saying, we are here. They're integrated. And the garden's voice confirms it. The garden grows where the heart dares to stay. Each time you met a soul, you planted a seed. Now it sprouts here.
So every challenge faced, every bit of compassion shown, it built this inner resilience, this garden.
Precisely. And that culminates in her finding the golden lily.
The flower of courage gathered from every experience.
Yes. And she's told to recognize within yourself. It's not an external reward. It's the embodiment of her journey.
Okay, so she has this flower of courage. Where does she go next?
To the final challenge, it seems. The suspended door.
White stone, no handle, no lock, hovering out of reach.
And the inner voice says, only those who surrender to silence can open what has no key.
What does silence mean here? Not just quiet, right?
I think it means that deep inner knowing, that trust in the process beyond striving or forcing.
So how does she open it?
She uses the golden petal, that tangible piece of her integrated courage. A wave of light opens the door.
And beyond it?
A new landscape. Golden hills, amber trees, and a sky that felt like an embrace. It's a crossroads moment. Return to earth or stay.
And with Stella there, trusting.
She whispers, I am ready to open the next chapter, wherever it leads me. And the boundary dissolves.
She embraces the unknown.
With courage earned through the whole journey.
So Anna, carrying this golden petal, this symbol of her nurtured courage and simplicity, she's facing a new start. She's learned from all those encounters, the judge, the loveless man, the invisible girl, the penitent.
Yeah, she's internalized forgiveness, openness, humility. She understands now that every step, even the hard ones, was a chance for rebirth.
So, connecting this to the bigger picture, Anna's journey isn't just her story, is it?
No, I think it speaks to a universal process. Facing our own shadows, the masks we wear, and realizing that real strength often comes from embracing vulnerability, from connection, from within.
So she returns to Earth changed. Not running from shadows anymore, but seeing them as part of her story. Ready to live differently.
With a gentle gaze, as the text says, ready to share her truth.
Which brings us to a question for you, the listener. Reflecting on Anna's path, if you stepped into that corridor, what lost soul might you need to meet? What aspect of yourself needs that compassionate attention?
Or what mask feels like it's time to maybe gently set aside?
And thinking about that breathing garden, what seed of truth, forgiveness, maybe, or courage, or just simplicity would you want to plant right now?
Yeah, what would help cultivate your own inner garden?
Lots to think about there. We hope this deep dive into Anna's journey has given you some food for thought, maybe a new way to look at your own path of self-discovery.